Very good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on GHOne TV. My name is Kweku. Temeng. Delight every evening when I join you with the latest happenings throughout the country. Well, before I bring you the details of the bulletin, let's look at some of the top stories that we have for you tonight. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, McDana Aviation debunks $3 million debt owed Ghana Airport Company. Tonight we'll bring you all the details and share some of the concerns of the union with you. Also coming up tonight, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo honors deserving appointees, public servants, journalists, and some Ghanaians for distinguishing themselves in the citizens' agenda. Well, we will tell you how netizens are reacting to this. And then here, Gender Ministry promises to release arrears owed school feeding caterers tomorrow. Will this be a reality? We'll share more details with you as we have our reporters on the grounds. And later, 4 NDC parliamentary candidates in disputed constituency election results file statement of case. We will tell you more tonight when we get to the political decks. So we have these and many other interesting stories making the 1 hour bulletin. Be my guest. Stay with us as we share all these details and many more with you. My name is Kweku Temeng, and I'm joining you tonight for the bulletin. Let's take our very first story for the evening, and here campaign momentum is steadily building in Dom Kwabenya. Both the incoming NDC and the governing MPP are jostling each other in the rerun polls at the Abokobi Women's Development Training Center. Well, it follows decisions by the EC to reorganize elections for that particular polling station over what it describes as an anomaly. Well, although the NDC is questioning the basis for the rerun, the leading parties have begun preparing for the last election battle for the 2024 polls. Well, our reporter, Sena Ajato, has more in this following report she shares with us.
Party has already resumed campaigning at Development Center 2 polling station. The rerun follows the use of incorrect forms to record results during the initial vote, prompting an immediate resumption of campaigning by political parties. Some NPP supporters have expressed their readiness to vote again, stating confidently that their party has already resumed campaigning to secure the seat. They emphasized that Abokobi is a stronghold of the NPP.
We as MPP, we in the MPP, trust us, we are ever ready. But this seat is a traditional seat for the MPP. It's a seat for the MPP. 1 or 2, we admit, didn't go well, and that has brought all this. Under normal circumstances, Dominic Kwabenya is even not supposed to be part of whatever that is going on. It's part now, we accept it. But for us to give the seat back to give the seat to NDC is something we call very impossible for Dominic Kwabenya MPP. So we are not leaving any stone unturned. As you can see, we are all here. Some are on the grounds already.
We have 1 2 gym. Nasi wunturu ya oda wani nkumu. Enti said ya babia no you be mu because Dominic Kwabenya no de yenti mi fan kwasha na na fo nsem. As Abokobi na afa Abokobi chire ne so na ma enema bi ayesa, but never lose hope.
However, not all constituents are enthusiastic. Some resident and party supporters have voiced frustration, calling the rerun unnecessary. They argued that Eliklim Akrugu's perceived lead in the December 7th election and challenges posed by the festive season make the rerun burdensome.
They are jokers. There is no way MPP will win in this area. Yeah. Despite the fact that it has been a stronghold, but we've all seen all that MPP had been doing since those days. MPP had been in position for 8 good years. Look at our roads. We have a reason for voting for NDC. we have so many reasons for voting for NDC, Our Lady to lead us. MPP should go and rest and come back later.
Sa election we no here because from and then konkosi 7th no Nyoma bebrebe ti miesi me no kase bebre tutu kwan won say ye man tem ase bebre ni fie ebi tutu kwan me amete ekura no me ni e wa kwantium ti mete san aha me pa but me nim eti no se isi no wo yi bi say omo betumi aye no mo bejai election na me dey bebo because one a waste of time obekwa kodi line mu saa entokwa kra timisi nom ne ade bi prepra nti yesamba be call for yi bi mu ha adwene kakra.
The assemblywoman of the Abokobi electoral area also weighed in on the matter, criticizing the NPP candidate Mike Okoye Jr. for refusing to concede defeat. She alleged that the NDC has already resumed campaigning since Saturday, insisting that the polling sheet clearly shows the NDC's victory.
Obi adi no ho agim because na eba no wontimi nkasa wo jama obakofo. Is in declare maame no as the winner of the Mikwabenya. Ni yenko yenim. Nkwa bebre wo yenim na onabo Michael Kweku Jr. enti asese otinkwemu a next 4 years a emre da homa no so obesan aba biom but kwan a opese odi Abokobi electorate edi ya afa no or the tension ebre Abokobi because the whole 16 regions ni na eni da obi a frefre se apodi ma bre for the Abokobi electoral area. They are going to give the nod to the woman back again. She's going to win.
The rerun is particularly significant as the Women's Development Center 2 polling station has 669 registered voters, with a margin between the two leading candidates standing at just 165 votes. The stakes remain high, with both the NDC and NPP determined to secure this critical constituency. Reporting for GHOne TV, Sena Ajato.
And I'm Kweku Temeng here at GHOne Studios. Well, let's get to Musa Dankwa, Global Info Analytics. You definitely would want to get more on this rerun, and here would want to engage him via Zoom. Musa Dankwa, thank you very much for your time tonight. Let me first of all find out from you. So, is this process really necessary, if I may ask?
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you, and good evening to you and your viewers. Look, what happened in Abokobi on election day was purely clerical and arithmetic error, using a wrong form to collect the results. Those who signed the results are known people, both from MPP and NDC. Nobody has claimed that there has been any act of illegality in the polling station to invalidate the outcome of the results from that polling station. Sensible thing EC should have done was to say, look, we use the wrong form. Let's use the right form, fill the forms again, using the same information, and asking the guys who signed the forms earlier to come back and sign. And that is it. I don't think this necessitated running of the election. I don't think in any imagination we expect this kind of error to create a situation where an election can be rerun. Look, if care is not taken, believe me, look, somebody can do this sometime in the future, and this could be a precedent, and a very bad one. I don't think it makes sense to do that at all.
Musa, but you have your eyes on the ground when it comes to elections. Now, I'm sure you've scanned the area very well. Can you tell us, per your analysis, who is likely to win? Would it go for the NDC or the MPP?
Look, Abokobi is NDC electoral area. On the day of the election, the NDC won in that polling station handsomely. There is no way MPP can overturn the margin and win using the results from this polling station. Absolutely not. No. NDC will win the polling station and win the constituency.
Just before I allow you to go, just for the constituents there, what should actually be happening? Both NDC and MPP campaigning effectively there, but to ensure that this is a smooth run, if it's going to happen, what do you think should be done?
Well, I don't think anything will change. NDC will continue to campaign as they have done, and they have a stronger case that, look, we need to have to get majority in parliament to do things better. And they have a more stronger case than the MPP will have. The motivation for people to vote this election will be on the side of NDC, just like it was in the general election. I don't see MPP guys motivated to go and vote. And if care is not taken, the margin could be wider compared to the last election that was held on the 7th of December for this polling station.
In your personal analysis of issues that have cropped up, especially with these constituencies and other area, do you think that the EC has not done things right in any way, per your opinion?
I think this particular one really doesn't enthuse me. I mean, this is a simple error that can be fixed. I don't see why you should go for rerun based on this fact that a wrong form had been used. I mean, this is unheard of, honestly speaking. I mean, EC has made some errors, but this one is really the last straw for me.
But if a wrong form has been used, just what should be done? There's no right form for it. EC has identified this is a wrong form, and a wrong form is a wrong form.
No, have they said that there has been an act of illegality in the polling station? You can annul results by act of illegality. Using a wrong form, it's not an act of illegality. It is not. So you are going to inconvenience the voters, cause financial loss to the state. How much will it cost to recall those who signed the form, to sign the right form after filling the same information? How much will it cost? How much will it cost to rerun the election? I mean, this is a no-brainer, honestly. It's a no-brainer.
All right, Musa Dankwa, thank you very much for joining us on this, and I know your team will be on the ground to share more details with us. Musa Dankwa is with Global Info Analytics. He joins us to share more on the Abokobi constituency rerun, and of course, GHOne TV will be down there. We'll be bringing you every detail when it happens. We'll move on to other stories, and here the management of the Ghana Airport Company has locked up McDan Aviation Private Jet Terminal, popularly known as Terminal 1. Well, the move follows the failure of the company to pay over $3 million debt owed to the company. Well, a visit by the news team to the facility reveals chief police officers have been stationed at the entrance to stop access to the facility. Speaking to GHOne, chairman of the Ghana Airport Company Divisional Union of the Public Service Workers Union of the TUC, Alhaji Abdul Isaka Bamba, argued payment of the outstanding debt is long overdue. Well, the chairman, through their support of the union behind the action of management, warning any other partners owing the company will suffer similar fate.
The place is locked this morning by the orders of the managing director. It has to do with the indebtedness of McDan as a company to GECL. What we know is that MD over the years, our current MD has made several efforts to retrieve the monies owed by McDan Aviation. To move it out, the payments are not coming. Out of frustration, I believe that's why MD have taken the decision to do the case down. We want our monies paid. If the situation fails, I believe force must apply. We know that MD has been writing letters to McDan Aviation for this money to be paid at the beginning of this year. Nothing is happening. If this is the only option left, why not? The staff will fully support the managing director in this course. Only that never, I think, is applying this time too. We know that managing director have been fighting over the year, the whole 2024. She has been trying to retrieve the monies. I have information that letters have been written to McDan as far back in July. Payments are not being done, so I will not entirely say it is now. That started some time ago. Well, now that it started with McDan, I think others have to advise themselves, knowing that when it started from here, it will just end up with them. Having others, I know CIP is an issue we have been raising over the years. At a point, we were told CIP is being operated by national security. We don't know how national security is operating business at the airport, but at least that's what we were told in the boardroom. We did ask this question. So those who are operating CIP and not paying anything, they must beware that once you start from McDan, we'll follow up with all those institutions that are owing Ghana Airport Company. Ghana Airport Company is struggling to honor its financial obligations, some that are affecting staff directly. And this boils down to the leadership, which we are trying to help the managing director solve.
All right, so you'd want to stay on this subject some more, and would want to engage chairman of the Ghana Airport Company. There's a divisional union of the Public Service Workers Union. He spoke a while ago, Alhaji Abdul Isaka Bamba. We want to find out more. Alhaji, we appreciate your time joining us. Yes, you spoke to us about it. We want some clarifications right at this moment. McDan has refuted the claim of owing the Ghana Airport Company Limited the $3 million that you mentioned, and albeit the amount is in US dollars. Have you checked the amount again that he owes the company?
Thank you very much. If he's saying he's not owing that amount, how much did he say he's owing?
Your guess is as good as mine, so you tell me. You have the papers. How much is McDan owing you? Because per checks with him, he says, look, part of the amount has been paid.
I indicated to you, your station, that McDan is owing in excess of $3 million to the company. If he is saying that is not true, he should tell you how much he's owing.
But he's mentioned that part of the money has been paid, and I'm trying to find out, have you checked with your books? Maybe you've received payments, but your books have not been updated.
I'm surprised you are not asking him to rather tell you how much he thinks he's owing. I put up a figure. If he knows my figure is wrong, he should put out the accurate one. Is that not fair?
I fairly understand, but yes, Ghana Airport Company has been working with McDan. I mean, you've had peaceful collaborations all these years. It's surprising that at this moment you've come up strong against the operations there at Terminal 1. Is it not surprising?
Well, there's a saying that if situation fails, force must be applied. I did tell your reporter earlier on that we have information that the managing director had written to him as far back in July, demanding payment of these monies. So letters have been written, consultations have been made. Now, if nothing is happening, the next level is to close down the place. I believe that's the decision the managing director have taken.
That has been done, but do you have any information if after this action, McDan has tried reaching out to your outfit, trying to say, look, let's solve this amicably. Yes, it's a business we are doing. We don't have to injure our customers in any way.
If you say McDan have tried reaching our outfit, I'm not too sure which outfit you are talking about. McDan negotiates with management. It's the same management that has closed the place. So what negotiation has he been having with them? Then you
trying to find out from you after your action.
I'm telling you that we are supporting the managing director for closing the place. That's what it is. If you think he had a better negotiation with managing director, you go ask managing director why did they go behind the negotiations and close down the place.
You don't have any information of McDan trying to reach out to solve this issue amicably?
Reaching out to whom?
The management of Ghana Airport Company, I mean.
Don't forget that the place was closed down this morning. Was he trying to reach out to the managing director after it was closed this morning or before? Because the place was closed only this morning. So if you say you were trying to reach out, when was he trying to reach out? Is it after the closure this morning or before? I don't know.
You are a union chairman, and I'm tempted to ask you from business directives. People might have booked their private jets trying to go to other destinations. Those negotiations have been made. Is there no way to, one way or the other, renegotiate and say, look, we closed it this morning, but we would be willing to give some time? I'm saying per management decision, which I know as union, you could be actively involved.
Well, if they ask our involvement, if they are invited into that discussion, why not? We offer our advice and our input. As it stands now, nobody invited into that discussion. You don't have to be invited into that negotiation. All we are saying is that we have seen that the managing director, out of frustration, out of several attempts to retrieve the money, is not able to retrieve it. Based on that, she closed the place as a means of compelling him to make do his best. So if he can pay off or have a better negotiation with the management, maybe something may be done about it.
All right, Alaji, thank you very much. However, we'll keep our cameras around. I'm sure as and when any other issue crops up, we will share the details with our cherished viewers. But for now, we know Terminal 1, actively being operated by Macdan this morning, has been shut down, and you can trust GHOne TV. We would have our cameras closed. We would be reporting. Just gone by, we spoke to the union chairman there, who is mentioning that they are actively behind management on the decision for Macdan to pay a $3 million US debt it owes the Ghana Airport Company. Let's now do other stories. Now, 4 parliamentary candidates of the National Democratic Congress, that's the NDC, involved in the disputed constituency election results have filed their respective processes to counter mandamus applications at the High Court. Well, this comes to comply with the Supreme Court orders for them to file their statement of case in 2 days from Friday after quashing an earlier orders of the High Court. Well, the 4, that's Ibi Bright, that's Tema Central, Baba Sadiq, represented Okaikwe Central, Irabna Obin, Ablekuma North, and Christopher Bayere, that's Techiman Central, all filed their processes ahead of the High Court hearing on Tuesday. Well, in their respective affidavits in opposition to challenge the mandamus application at the High Court. Well, the 4 candidates urged the court to dismiss the mandamus applications from their new patriotic parties counterparts on December 20. Well, the High Court granted their mandamus application from 6 NPP parliamentary candidates, authorizing the EC to collate and declare 6 parliamentary results which were disputed. Well, Mutala Enusa, our head court correspondent, joins me right here for more details on this particular development. Mutala, break it down for me, because I want to get a clearer understanding and help my viewers there.
Yes.
What is the court saying?
Yes, like you mentioned, on Friday, the Supreme Court exercised its powers, supervisory jurisdiction on the High Court, and said, look, the mandamus application filed by the NPP candidate urging the court to compel the EC to collate and declare results should be freshly heard. And the court made an order to the NDC counterpart that, look, we are looking at the situation to swearing in. January is just at the corner. And so the court is using its powers to abridge the time. Abridging the time means bring the time forward for the case to be heard on time. So the court straight away urged them to file their processes within 2 days. And the 2 days started from Friday, 2 working days. So Friday, today is the last day of the orders given to them to file their process, so that the High Court will hear them. And if the High Court hear them, now parties have been given fair hearing, then a determination could be made. This afternoon at 2:45, each of the 4 NDC parliamentary candidates filed their respective affidavit in opposition to challenge, to oppose to the individual application, mandamus applications from the NPP part. But let me start from Rabna Obin, the Ablekuma North constituency, and she is contending in relation to the mandamus application. It's Kweku that has filed the application. Now she is responding. Let me tell you, especially with the concluding part of his affidavit in opposition to what she has made to the court. They said, look, that all the allegations of violence and threat, remember that one of the things that the EC had made clear is that circumstances that the EC returning officers went through makes the collation and the process illegal. This is what she's saying. She said that all the allegations of violence and threats at the collation center in Ablikuma North in the applicant's affidavit in support are denied, and that till date there has not been any complaint of assault, battery, or any threat of harm lodged by the returning officer of the Electoral Commission or the commission with the Ghana Police Service for that matter. And in effect, what she's saying is that in the foregoing, I pray the court to dismiss the applicant application for mandamus. Clearly, he's of the view that, look, if you say that somebody was compelled, somebody was under duress and order, it is for you to show. By now, a complaint should have been made to the police for the police to investigate the matter. That has not been done. So on what basis are you making that particular point? Then let me take you to Ibi Bright. Ibi Bright has also been saying something very interesting. What has she been saying? And listen to what Ibi Bright said. She said, look, that the application filed by the applicant, particularly the motion paper, fails to comply with strict and mandatory rules of the Honorable Court, in the sense that the applicant has failed to endorse on the motion paper the grounds and the reliefs sought. She went ahead to say this, I repeat, paragraph 14 above, and further deposed that the instant application is legally defective, very interesting there, and incompetent, does not properly invoke the jurisdiction of the High Court, and therefore ought to be dismissed illumini in its entirety. That is what Ibi Bright is saying. And she concluded by saying that the applicant attaches his affidavit in support, a letter dated December 13, 2024, and marked as so. However, there is no indication on the face of that letter that the Electoral Commission actually received, say, and also there is no evidence attached to the affidavit in support suggesting that the Electoral Commission refused to perform the act demanded in the letter upon being served with the same for which reason the instant application has been mounted. And that is one of the things that Ibi Bright has also been saying. And I'll take you to Techiman Central. And in relation to Techiman Central, yes, Christopher Beire has also been making some submissions, has been arguing his case why he wants the courts to dismiss that particular mandamus application. Guess what? Listen to what he has been saying in relation to his affidavit in opposition. He said, look, that being aware of the fact that the election of the member of parliament for the said constituency was complete, the Electoral Commission had no further function to the extent that it relates to collation and declaration of the winner of the election for the said constituency. Hence, the invitation thrown to it asking the court to perform a function that has already been executed for him, it is unlawful. And he went on to say that I am aware and believe that once a winner of a parliamentary election is declared, the election is complete. Once the
situation was declared
in his favor, so the process is complete. If you decide, therefore, to the extent that I was declared and certified by the Electoral Commission as the elected member of Parliament for Techiman South constituency, the parliamentary election in Techiman South is complete. So, in his view, there is nothing for the EC to do. Then let me take
interesting. I'll allow you, but time is not on my side. So let me just find out from you shortly. So then, what happens tomorrow with all these filings?
So their intentions are clear. Tomorrow, they are opposing to whatever the NPP said. Remember, the Supreme Court quashed those 4 parliamentary election orders that were given to the EC to collate those ones that were declared in favor of the NPP. So what the court is saying is that clearly tomorrow when you appear, all the parties will be given the fair grounds. Remember that one of the issues that they raised at the Supreme Court was the High Court refusal for them to join because whatever orders were given by the court, they were affected. So tomorrow we should expect a battle of wit argument with a lot of authorities being sided to support each other's case. So tomorrow is going to be a long case. And as you heard me mention, all the cases will be heard on each base, the individual basis. All the 4 will make their submissions to the court for the court to make a determination.
And all is looking up to January 7th.
Absolutely, and remember, tomorrow is December 31st, the last day of December 2024.
It's interesting, and we know you will bring us all the details from the courts. Let me look at other stories at this moment in here. Security analyst Dr. Adam Bona has blamed the timing of the appointment of the Deputy IGP Christian GHOne for the seeming tension in the police service. Well, it follows revelations in the court documents about some policemen refusing to accept posting because of a counter instruction from the Deputy IGP. Well, the said policemen who were subsequently interdicted for disobeying orders are challenging the decision by the police administration in courts. Adam Bona joins us for more on this particular one. Well, Dr. Bona, thank you very much for your time this evening, and Happy New Year in advance. So, yes, you blame the situation on the appointment of the Deputy IGP. Can you throw more light on this?
Well, yes, good evening and Happy New Year in advance to yourself and your viewers. Well, I blame it because then if you look at the time that this appointment was made, suspiciously we had just 3 months to go into the 2024 7th December elections. And some of us raised issues and questioned why this was not done if the outgoing president and the outgoing government actually thought it wise to probably appoint him as a deputy IGP, knowing very well that the convention internationally, you do not, in fact, temper or you do not touch the security architecture when you have a major election that is pending. And it's not just Ghana, but in fact, they ignored that convention. That we are aware of, or some of us know, and decided to appoint a deputy IGP and even added in charge of operations. And some of us raised issues, Ghanaians raised issues. Eventually, I think the issue ended up in court, and quickly the AG distanced itself from the position, deputy IGP operations. And so I think what is now left in court, I'm told, has to do with just deputy IGP. This time, no in charge of operations. But fast forward into the 2024 December elections, this issue that is in court is sub judice, so I wouldn't want to go into the merit and demerit of it. But it is clear that from the court document I have seen, these renegade or these police officers took instructions from the deputy IGP not to go on transfer, and they were recruited for a certain D-Day operations. And what is D-Day operations on the 7th? If it has nothing to do with rigging the 2024 elections. And so they were transferred. And the deputy IGP allegedly, because it's been captured, it is on the court document, told them not to go and they should mention his name. And they mentioned his name in the court document, which for me, as a senior citizen, the deputy IGP GHOne, as a senior citizen, and as a senior police officer, one would have expected that he will not get himself involved in this thing. And the person who recruited to actually get these other ranks to probably disregard the instructions of the management of the Ghana Police Service. One ASP Jalilu. Go and Google who ASP Bawa Jalilu is. He's a gentleman who beat up in 2016-17, who actually beat up DSP Nanka Bruce. He led the invisible forces when the NDC lost the election to beat up DSP Nanka Bruce, and these beatings were done in the full glare of CCTV cameras at Jubilee House that were widely shared. And if you Google it, you'll find it now. And so to recruit such a person, when you know this is a die-hard partisan police officer, to recruit other people probably to rig an election, if you ask me, I would say that there are so many issues to deal with when it comes to the security architecture of this country. But that of the Ghana Police Service, some of these issues has not augured well for the police service, especially when it is none other person than the deputy IGP, who has been mentioned widely in these court processes for a D-Day operations. And who did the recruitment? ASP Jalilu, the guy who beat up DSP, now he's retired, DSP Nankabros. So you see, things just don't add up.
Interesting update, Dr. Bona. But in one of your commentaries, early parts of today, you mentioned that the IGP position on how it was handled was needless. Do you still stand by it, and why?
Can you repeat what you said?
In one of your commentaries, early part of today, I guess, you mentioned that the deputy IGP position or how it was handled was really needless, in your opinion. So I want to find out from you if you still stand by this.
No, I stand by it, because if the deputy IGP position was quickly put together, because they failed, the outgoing government failed to oust Dampari, and therefore let's put it quickly together so that we can get COP GHOne or deputy IGP GHOne to help us rig the election. That didn't happen. And so mine is that this government, outgoing government, has done a lot. But I think that the bastardization, a lot of things have happened. You go to the military, things are not so good. But even with the military, you don't hear the bickering and the gossiping and undermining of authority and all that. You don't hear it. But in the police service, it is everybody attempts to talk as if it is not a regimented society. It's something that beats my imagination. You remember the infamous leak tape that came out, and look at when Parliament finished its work, they sent this tape to the presidency. Nothing has been heard of it. These two police officers who are still in uniform are still serving. And so mine is that I am hoping that when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama takes over on the 7th, a lot of things will be done in straightening the Ghana Police Service, because you see, as we speak, I am aware that Professor Enin, I think, is it Imani or so, Franklin Kujo and the rest have gone to court challenging, asking for interpretation with regards to appointment and removal of heads of security, including the IGP. And so when I hear the discussion because there is change of government and undermining, I say that, is it that are we not privy to what is going on in courts? Are we saying that John Mahama would come and immediately disregard the court process and take the law? John Mahama is law-abiding citizen of this country. And so I find it difficult because there is change of government, all of a sudden, this round of, bickering and people talking without any science or research to say, because some people are not happy with promotions within the Ghana Police Service, it means that the entire service is on its knees. And I say, no, they handle the elections so well. As we speak, crime levels are so low. As we speak, accidents in the last few days, preceding today, we've had the festive season. How many accidents? It used to be people dying as if a plane crash has taken place. Now all those things have come down. I think we need to rebuild this country and reset this country. Some of these things, we will have to rise up against them and ensure that things are done well. You go to advanced countries, you don't hear senior police officers lowering themselves to this level. And so for me, the appointment, let me reiterate, the appointment that was done, I'm not sure why it was done. It is a prerogative of the president. But if you look at, it's sub judice, so I wouldn't want to go into it. Right. The issue is this. But mine is that I'm not sure why. I can say that it was done because I've had conversations with behind the scene with regards to why this was done. And I'm clear that the leaders had in their mind what to do. All
right, Dr. Bona, thank you. I'm grateful for your time and all the pointers you've made. We're indeed grateful. I'll quickly move on to the presidency, where President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has urged Ghanaians to draw inspiration from the achievements of heroes celebrated at the Ghana National Honors and Awards ceremony and to commit to building a prosperous and inclusive nation. Speaking at the event held at the Accra International Conference Center on Monday, December December 30. The president highlighted the significance of collected efforts in achieving Ghana's developmental goals and also encouraged the awardees to continue serving as role models for others and inspiring the next generation to pursue excellence and service to the country.
To our honorees, this is your day. Let this moment inspire you to continue making a difference. To the young people watching, let these stories ignite in you a desire to contribute to Ghana in your own unique way. To every Ghanaian, let this occasion remind us that our collective strength lies in celebrating and nurturing the very best among us.
Ghana's outgoing Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia during the award was decorated by President Akufo-Addo with Ghana's highest honor, the Order of the Star of Ghana Officer Award.
Dedication to building a society rooted in integrity, inclusivity, and progress.
The news team also caught up with some awardees at the event.
The word to the Ghanaian is basically that we should just do our work. And once we do our work, it will show and the recognition will come. So if it's my turn today, I'm sure tomorrow it will be somebody's turn. But it just shows that hard work does pay. And it just shows us that we are a nation of gratitude. And of course, a nation that shows gratitude will always be a forward-looking nation.
I think it's all about being dedicated to your cause and serving the country to the best of your ability and from a very clean and clear conscience, and being dedicated to your God and country. I think that's all that it entails.
For the state to be able to recognize my contribution towards music and to the people of Ghana and things like that, and to the world as well, I think it's something that I have to cherish, and I cherish that, and I give thanks to the Most High.
The Ghana Police Service has been a cornerstone of law enforcement in the Republic of Ghana.
All right, so my colleague Evelyn Araba-Edu has been checking what netizens have been saying about this particular honors. Over to you, Evelyn Araba-Edu.
All right, Kweku, the award today, has generated a whole lot of conversation. But in all, we have 81 individuals receiving an award. But that's also made up of 6 institutions, including that of the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Armed Forces. And of course, some ministers. But we know that the highest awards went to that of the Vice President. So on social media, of course, there's been lots of comments. We have Redshift says, who is saying that they seems to be awarding everyone for what? And the signs were clear. So why the awards? Scoring 38% and receiving awards for what? I don't know, quickly, if you remember what the 38% means. And then Osajifo Oliver Baka Voma, of course, I know he wouldn't rest without adding his voice. He says that Ali Baba gathered his 40 thieves and gave themselves national awards. Anokwa Oral, you have seen the audacity of Zacchaeus, with a question mark there. And then when we move on to Victor, he says that this is serious. Elephants and party colors. Is this the national award he's giving out? Nana Kweku can do wonders. You know, she posted the symbol of the pendant there with the golden symbol there of that's of the elephant, and we all know what the elephant symbolizes. It's also the symbol of the elephants, that is the NPP in Ghana. And then when we move on to Fred Dohu, he says that this award was given at 1:38 p.m. on live TV. Whatever you do with this is your problem. Okay, if you can also move on to Benjamin Isumani. He also posted this on Facebook. He says, whilst the Mahama brothers are focused on providing intervention for the poor and weak ones in the country, Akufo-Addo and his friends are busily sharing national awards to themselves like toffees. I don't know the type of toffee that he's talking about. Maybe it's the Alewa black and white. But we have Mohammed Yassin saying that Alhaji 38 finally received his award of incompetence. Well, that's his opinion, and we have Obiba JK2 saying that even something that was supposed to be the National Honors Awards was based on extreme partisan lines. Indeed, Akufo-Addo always puts party before country. How Akum saying Brian Echampon et al. Were among the awardees, well deserved. And then, of course, we have the picture of Hawa Kunsin there. And then Kweku Azar, that's Professor Kweku Azar, he says that he's giving us some education here. He says that in 1960, Kwame Nkrumah instituted the Order of the Voter, one of Ghana's highest honors, over his tenures as president, spanning 6 years. He awarded it only once to Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman in space. Reality of this act underscored the prestige and exclusivity of the award, celebrating extraordinary achievements that transcended borders and inspired the nation. However, in recent years, presidents appear to use the awards more liberally, often to honor their own appointees. This trend risks politicizing what should remain a national celebration of exceptional accomplishments. And this is coming from Professor Kweku Azar. And of course, the overall winner of today's awards, or let me say this award, went to that of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President, who is also the Vice Presidential candidate for the just ended presidential and parliamentary elections.
Araba, thank you so much. Well, we'll leave it up for you, netizens, people who are online, just to share your thoughts on these awards, and we'll make time and share with the rest of the world. We're taking a break at this time. We're coming back shortly with some more updates. This is your EIB Network's GHOne TV. We're back shortly with more updates. To stay with us. All right, so I'm grateful that you kept faith with us till this time of the bulletin. We're back with some more local updates. So let's get straight into it. As Minister for Gender and Social Protection, GHOne Newman has assured aggrieved school feeding caterers of payment of their arrears by close of 31st December 2024. It's just around the corner. Well, after they besieged the ministry over what they say is a refusal of government to pay their arrears. Well, the angry caterers blame the ministry for Gender, Children and Social Protection for turning a deaf ear to their plight for the past 3 years. My colleague Obed Kingaglo has more.
We are here for outstanding arrears owed to some of the caterers from 2017 to 2024. 4 days non-payment to all caterers in Ghana nationwide. And underpayment of some caterers. Some caterers have been underpaid for almost 6 to 7 years. And a delay of third term payment, which is 2023-25 academic year, and our first term 2024-25 academic year. We realized during the time of His Excellency John when we couldn't hand the baton to Minado, the late day emails and his government never paid any arrears to the school feeding program. So we don't want what has happened before to happen to us. That's why we are here petitioning the president and the gender minister, the vice president and the chief of staff to come to our aid, because some of us use the bank loan. Some of us go to various shops to go and credit items to come and cook. As we speak now, the cooks that we even employ them, they have not been paid. Some cannot stay in their various houses. Some are sick. Others are even in the mortuary because of that. So we are pleading that they should do us favor and pay us the money before 7 January, so we don't go to any trauma.
1 cedi 50 pesos, but almost a tax. I rather see 1 cedi, say 40 pesos. 40. Oh, I know just so dear. Maybe say dear. You can say a calculation because and the beans about from the 2005 and then 3,002. So they say they pay so now she said the gari boy dear. Oba jollof rice say what did you bear nam na be so until they be yesra wo mo say omo consider kwara na wo mo ma ye aduane ma wo mo omo ye dache adehye dache president dache ministers amoni adeade omo hu san kwara na mo bo no mo to sikani so that if we aduane papa e dia man kwara na 50 pesos na omo propose ye na anya ne sa ma ye.
We've been here since morning, trying to give our caterers some assurances on the monies they are being owed. We've had a lengthy meeting with them. They have spoken about their grievances, and we have also assured them that, as was communicated to them, their outstanding payments for the third term, it should be paid tomorrow, God willing. And so they have come to understand what we've explained to them concerning that outstanding payment, and they welcome the news that tomorrow our caterers will be paid for their third term. Concerning the first term, they just ended the first term, so they are doing their own internal processes at the school feeding secretariat to bring it to the ministry for us to also append our signature. And so once that is done, the controller wants.
All right, so close of business tomorrow, they would be paid in full. GHOne there, and our cameras will be there to report on it. Well, it's time for us to bring you the latest happenings from our world of business. To stay with us, we're back shortly with all those details. Well, traders in Kofodia have welcomed the new Dwabin Traditional Council's decision to lead the establishment of a rural bank aimed at stimulating the local economy. Well, the Omanhene of the new Dwabin Traditional Area, Kweku III, has unveiled plans to launch the Kofodia Rural Bank PLC. Well, this initiative seeks to support local businesses, empower women, and address climate change. Well, the bank will focus on financing environmentally friendly projects, including renewable energy energy, waste recycling, and other sustainable ventures in alignment with global climate action goals.
Speaking at a fundraising event to mobilize minimum capital requirements for the bank, Dasebre Kweku III outlined the bank's mission, emphasizing its focus on 5 key areas: women empowerment, support for small and medium-scale enterprises, agricultural development, youth empowerment, and environmentally friendly projects.
It will be catalyzed for community development, addressing key areas critical to our shared future. Our mission is anchored on 5 pillars: green banking, women empowerment, support for small and medium-scale enterprises, agricultural development, and youth empowerment.
The bank will also prioritize financing environmentally friendly projects and other sustainable ventures aligning with the global climate action goals.
The Koforidia Rural Bank will prioritize environmentally friendly projects such as renewable energy, energy efficiency, waste recycling, as well as eco-friendly businesses. By financing sustainable initiatives, we aim to contribute to environmental conservation, reduction of carbon dioxide emissions, while driving economic growth and aligning with global efforts to achieve the sustainable development goals.
The initiative has received significant support. The Nkoswahine of Kweku Nkwetia, Nana Oruduwadi II, who was chairman of the event, and his family donated 500,000 Ghana cedis and pledged to provide 50% of the required capital for regulatory approval.
To support development projects and provide banking and financial services to the community. I encourage everyone present here to invest in this wonderful project and to become the pioneering stakeholders of this community bank.
All right, so we'll take a break here. We're coming back shortly. Do stay with us. This is GHOne TV's News Tonight. All right, so quickly to sports. Albert Frimpong, sports administrator, and Madam Aisha Turadam, a former athlete, have been recognized with the Grand Medal Award for their contribution to sports development in Ghana. Well, Frimpong has been recognized for his works for promoting non-traditional sports at the National Honors Awards. Well, he was given this award for his outstanding contribution to the development of baseball and softball in Ghana and across the continent. Madam Aisha Turadam, who was part of Ghana's gold medal winning relay team at the 1985 African Championship, was also awarded for her contribution to the development of sports in Ghana.
You are an outstanding expert in sports development and a leader
whose contributions to Ghana's sports sector have had a transformative impact. In recognition of your dedicated service to Ghana, the Republic of Ghana confers on you, Albert Che Frimpong, the State Honor of Grand Medal. A round of applause for Mr. Albert Che Frimpong. Madam Aishetu Adam, your athletic prowess is highlighted by your remarkable accomplishments in sports, including the 1985 African Championships in Cairo, securing a bronze medal for Ghana in the 4x400 meters relay. In recognition of your dedicated service to Ghana, the Republic of Ghana confers on you, Madam Aishetu Adam, the State Honor of Grand Medal.
All right, so bulletin led by Lily Mohammed. On behalf of the entire production team tonight, I would want to salute you. Appreciate you for spending your 1 hour with us. Just to assure you that information, education, and entertainment is right here on GHOne TV. My name is Kweku. Enjoy the rest of your evening.